All right, good morning and welcome in here at 7:12 a.m. Sorry if you guys had to wait
got
a
a
little
leaky ass.
We've got a little bit of a tummy ache.
2 days in a row. It's supposed to go away. There can't be anything in there. It's all water.
And did you eat it all?
No. Wow. So, we'll see.
I wonder if anyone noticed that you, dipped out multiple times.
Probably. I like to stay involved in the show.
Well, yeah. I think that, I'm just saying from a production standpoint, I think we do a pretty good job not letting it seem like there's
Something
anything
to miss.
that you're running back and forth between the toilet and here.
Yeah, I missed the other bathroom.
They were
I
nicer.
need to. Hold on. This is probably why I'm sick.
Look, Charles County Matters. 10 minutes of my life waiting. Y'all have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, buddy.
Stay and hang out, man, but 10 minutes is too much. I understand. But good morning. Welcome in. Appreciate you guys joining us once again here on this Tuesday as we are rolling through the off season here. The vibes are high right now because I'll tell you what, yesterday I was sitting watching Media Day and it really felt like football was back.
Yep.
What you got for us, Lloyd?
I'm about to email against myself.
There you go. But yeah, no, I was sitting on the couch, cutting some stuff up for YouTube, doing some work, and I had obviously SEC Media Days on. I put everything down to listen to BK and the LSU guys, but I was working while Beamer was talking and everyone else, and it really, you can start to smell the football in the air.
Speaking of.
And speaking of
that can't be healthy.
I'm assuming this is a toilet you visited?
This is not a sit downer.
No.
No, this is the Pelican bathroom from our producer Buddy.
So is that,
and they don't have air conditioning.
is the trash can trash can just a bucket?
Yeah.
Or is that another toilet?
It could be both.
Yeah, no,
it
that
doesn't help.
The floor is frightening.
Yeah, that's if you walk in there with the lights off, it's actually better.
Yeah, you don't want to have the lights on.
No air conditioning.
God.
And no trash can, so there's just Diet Cokes everywhere.
Love it.
Yeah.
Respect.
So, my kind of spot.
Fridge cigs.
If you need to trap, you can trap there. Nobody goes in that place.
I guess you're probably right. But
Probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
I mean, that's a trap bathroom.
Yep. I'm the only one with a key.
There you go. Fonz, that's a hover. Yeah, no, it's a hover. Like that, you cannot. No contact shall be made with the seat of that
You'd
toilet.
actually probably rather use the bucket and then just dump it in the toilet.
Not a bad.
Like
That's probably why it's there.
Red Dead Redemption. You're okay, boy. Ah, damn it, Arthur. Oh.
That is a rough restroom. And I've seen some bad ones. That one was bad.
Yeah, and it hasn't made any progress for like that for 3 years.
Yeah, has not improved.
Not one piece of tile.
Has not been updated.
Like not even the effort to try.
Right. Just throw something on the ground. Maybe even just like a rug.
Turn it into a yurt.
Just drop a rug there with a nasty little rug.
Yeah, like
in the restroom.
Yeah, I mean you could turn this into a whole kitty litter situation.
You just put turf on. You just turf it.
Just turf it.
You need to turf it
in a doggy bag.
I can hear the floor.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like when you step on it, it's just because your shoes are sticking.
Oh my God.
They've got to stick, right?
Oh yeah. Go in there barefoot.
Oh no. Death upon you if you go in there barefoot. That is
dysentery.
Disgusting. Vile. But we digress. Good morning. Welcome in. Obviously, Media Days yesterday, like I said, starting to feel like football. I started getting fired up, but really, I didn't get excited listening to Media Days. My mom was watching me listen to Brian Kelly talk, and she looked at me and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was sitting there, I was like itching. Like my anxiety started to grow and build up. And I don't even know why. It was just because it feels like it's on the way.
It's almost here.
I was just and he said something about 1-0, and I was just like, it could be bad on August 31st and or September 1st if this does not go right. And she could just see the anxiety and the angst and the nervousness building up in my body as LSU football is on the way. I guess, I've said it a couple times the last couple of weeks, kind of shifting from baseball back to football. Yesterday was like the first real day that I was like, okay, like it's here, like it's time to like focus, and it's here. There's no running from it. Like August 30th is on the way. And LSU and Brian Kelly obviously will be facing off with Clemson on that day. Lloyd, what were we'll get to that in a second. Obviously, LSU at the podium at Media Days yesterday. Lloyd, give me a one-sentence recap of your takeaways from SEC Media Days yesterday before we get into the nitty-gritty of it.
One sentence.
One sentence.
I was going to do one word.
You can do one word.
Prepared.
Prepared. I'm going to say confident. I felt as if it was confident. In other news, LSU makes Jace Matthews one of the top wide receivers in the 2026 class. They make his top 4 here in recruiting as LSU will try to continue their hot streak on the trail. He is a 2026. He's the number 2 wide receiver in the 2026 class. Will make his commitment on August 2nd, and LSU is in that top 4 that also includes Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and Auburn. So 4 SEC schools, including LSU in Jace Matthews' top 4. Obviously, the MLB draft continued on yesterday, and you heard more names of LSU Tigers called: Daniel Dickinson, Jared Jones, Jacob Myers, Connor Ware, Cade Woods. There was a plethora of Tigers taken as the draft continued on. I think there were 9 LSU players taken in total, along with 8 high school signees. And that'll be something that we'll obviously get into as the show goes on this morning, because there's a lot to talk about from a roster construction standpoint for next season. So some names that it seems like they'll be returning, and then obviously the ones that will be gone. So some good news for LSU, obviously, but when you have 15 players combined out of guys that were on the roster and high school signees that are gone, obviously it's hard to think that you would be confident in the roster you have when you lose that much. But LSU's got so much talent that's going to be returning. It's hard not to be confident. And they also have some other good news yesterday as a D2 standout Dax Daith commits to LSU. He got a waiver to get 1 more year of eligibility and will be using that year in Baton Rouge. He is a pitcher out of, what was the school called? It was a D2 school, a small school, obviously, that he was at the Angelo State Rams last year. So he will be heading to Baton Rouge as Jay Johnson adds another arm to his 2026 staff. Last couple of headlines: Louisiana Tech is headed to the Sun Belt. And there was a lot of discussion yesterday about Nick Saban. Like, it was brought up by
Greg McElroy and Paul Feinbaum at the table, and then Lane Kiffin comes back. I don't know if you saw this clip. Lane Kiffin and Paul Feinbaum sat down. I watched that entire thing.
Always the best content that comes out of SEC anything is when Feinbaum and Kiffin sit down, and Feinbaum says something, and Kiffin goes, "I miss my ex-coach."
My ex-boss.
It was hilarious. And then he goes, "Yeah, he's coming back. I hope you guys know that." And obviously, Kiffin was saying it in jest. But it's funny how much it really stirred up conversation about, is Nick Saban actually going to return? And if he does, where's he going to go? And so I saw a top 5 list put out. And I would like, Lloyd, for you to guess what school sat atop
Alabama.
The top 5. No.
LSU?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not playing this game with Lane Kiffin.
Stop, Lane.
I know who that man is a mastermind.
He is.
Like, I could not imagine a Lane Kiffin in high school.
Oh, no,
like what he did. No, I'm talking about from a teacher's perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, he would be excellent classmate. But
right.
If anything, even if he didn't do it, it's like, Lane,
It's like, I don't have anything to do with this.
Hard to believe, Lane.
Yeah, I know. I've been on that side of it.
Right.
Where it's like, I would never.
Don't believe you, Lloyd.
Yeah, and it's like, well, Lloyd's at the top of that list. It's like, fuck it. Then I'll just do it.
Right.
But Lane, clearly, and if you're Nick Saban in this situation where you probably haven't talked about coming back at all, then you have to come answer questions about it. It's like, that motherfucker. Like, he got me again. I'm not even coaching against him.
Well, and the crazy thing was, like, Lane was, like, you could see the sarcasm on his face when he's talking about it. Greg McElroy was sitting up there. I've got sources that are knowledgeable on the situation. They don't think Nick is done. I think Nick is done. But these sources that have inside scoop.
Lane. Lane's like, I mean, I hear it all over.
Everywhere I look, they're saying Nick is coming back.
Well, he's like... Well, it is. He should be coaching. He's still He's like, I see him on TV. He still has all of his faculties. He's still sharp. Yeah, one of the greatest minds the college football game has ever seen. It's malpractice. He's not coaching. He's like actually doing a great pitch for Nick Saban, which doesn't need a pitch to come back.
No.
And then the thing, that's why I said Alabama first, was they were of the impression that I hope our defensive coordinator has knocks it out the park this year, gets a head coaching job, and Nick Saban comes back and becomes DC. Like, what delusion are you drinking?
Are you kidding me? You're going to bring back Nick Saban to be Kalen DeBoer's defensive coordinator?
No. I don't think Nick Saban's working for anybody.
No. If Nick Saban ever did come back, he would be the AD and the head football coach at the same time.
And commissioner.
All of it. He'd be the school president, the athletic director, the head football coach, defensive coordinator, and the NCAA commissioner at the same time. Into the two claps for this morning. Some announcements made yesterday on Twitter. Zach Cowan returning for the Tigers. Tanner Reeves also puts out an announcement that he is coming back, running it back with LSU. Two claps for those guys. Ready? Any Given Saturday deserves two claps. The Netflix special that will be coming out in August that will be highlighting the SEC schools in NCAA football. They put out the commercial yesterday, the trailer, I guess you could call it, and it was awesome. And this is going everyone involved in bringing this to us because this is going to be electric. Two claps. Ready? How about some kids robbing some home runs? This was the funniest thing I saw yesterday as the home run derby was taking place. And they've, as the last couple of years, they started to add the children in the outfield to catch balls, that aren't out the park. And I think, was it last year a kid took one off the dome? Mm-hmm. This year, look at this kid.
Going over the wall.
How about, buddy? You're not getting your home run, friend.
You got to earn it out here.
This is, it's the home run derby. You should, as a fan, you want.
You got to get in trouble.
Are you kidding? Are you serious? You're gonna rob it?
Hell yeah!
I'm making a name for myself.
Yeah,
robbed a homer in an MLB park
on national television. Yeah, you can't fault that kid.
No, I thought it was awesome. Good on him for having the wherewithal and the gall to say, you know what? I don't care.
I'm going to get one.
I'm getting one, and then robbing a home run. But the one thing I didn't like about the home run derby last night is they didn't go to a swing off. They had a tie for the lead, and they ended up settling it with decimals. A first-round tiebreaker. They settled it by who had the farther home run, and it came down to like the millionth decimal to put Cal over Brent Rooker. Like, come on now.
Did you see?
How about we just let him swing the bat 5 times?
Well, I think they're trying to eliminate some of the length of this thing.
I get it.
I don't. I signed up for the home run derby. I want to watch the home. Don't let me see less home. I don't want to do math.
No math, please.
Yeah, I'm not here to play school. I'm here to see dingers.
I'm all about baseball trying to not be a super long-winded game. Like, I think the pitch clock has been good. This is stupid. It's the home run derby. I want to see these two guys each get 10 swings, see who hits the most out, and they move on.
Yeah, that's what Coach Call it nostalgia. Call it, I guess, maybe we're getting older. Even you, because that's the old home run derby that I remember.
Right.
Like, you don't get there's some, but you don't get to see all the homers. It's going too fast because you can't physically watch all of it at once. Like, you have to see it leave the yard to know if it's a home run or not. And then by the time they wanted to make them wait until it lands to swing, those guys are competing.
Yes.
Like, once you put them in that environment, in that setting, it's like, buddy, throw it. I'm trying to get as many as I can. So they're hitting dinger after dinger, and it becomes cool. There was a moment last night when Matt Olson gets up, the hometown kid from Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's in Atlanta Stadium. He plays for. Does he play for the Braves?
Yes.
Like, all of it, and he gets nuclear hot. Hits up like 8 in a row out, and it was the coolest moment of the Derby. And it doesn't happen if you do it the 10 swings or whatever, but it also could, because I remember when Josh Hamilton went berserker, and the new Yankee Stadium or old Yankee Stadium, I don't remember, but it was in New York. It was the 10 outs, and he put out I think 26 in a round, and it was like. The talent was on full display of why everybody was enamored with the kid. Why it was like, man, if Josh Hamilton figures it out, he might be the most talented player to ever play baseball.
Yeah.
Clearly, cocaine is stronger than it's a fickle mistress, that drug, and it did take away baseball from him for a time.
Right.
But I mean, it just goes to show the rush of doing cocaine is higher than hitting 26 homers in the home run derby. But that moment it's one of the things you remember the most.
Right.
And Jay Mitch was talking about this last night, too, where he's like, and what do you want to see more? Do you want to see a lot of home runs or far home runs? And it's like, that's what's really the biggest display is, I want to see him hit it 500 feet.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
saw
O'Neal Cruz,
where
513.
Like I've seen people hit it over the wall. I want to see how far you can hit it over the wall.
Out of the when Giancarlo was hitting them off the
in Miami.
Unhittable roof that NASA built in Miami, and Stanton turns on one and it pings off the top.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Like,
but
I mean,
I think that's a bigger display of what a home run derby is like. And
let these guys show off.
Somebody else tweeted about it. They're like, we're doing, launch angle at 27 degrees, and that bend the swing path was this, and what happened to back, gone
later?
Yeah, like give me
Lynn Rollins on the call, please.
Or I mean,
he's gonna pucker up every 5 seconds.
Nobody did it better than the Schwam.
Yes,
but he obviously isn't doing it anymore because I think it was exhausting. But those guys are getting tired up there too,
right?
Because you're trying to hit as many homers as you can in 2 minutes, and then you have the extra swings, and it's become more of a workout than just standing in the box and being
just turning on baseball.
Throw me one right down the middle. Pop, put it right here.
And shout out to the dads for being nice, because I think there's probably a lot of dads out there that'll be like, I'm not letting my son hit a yard off me.
Or what are you like?
A nasty little cutter at you.
Yeah, I know where your weak spots are. I've been throwing to you for 25 years.
I've been watching you play forever, buddy.
You suck, kid.
Can't hit a high in the zone.
Gotcha. But it was cool to see.
That's 3.
We had It was cool to see Big Dumper obviously win, and then to have his little brother, who's 6'4", was catching. And it was like, he's 15 years old. It was like, where do they build these kids? Like, kids, if you're listening, fathers, if you're listening, you have kids, they're probably not gonna make it, because there's people out there like that are built in a lab that their dad played Major League Baseball, their brother plays Major League Baseball. Now they're catching in the home run derby, and they're 15 and 6'4". That's the kid that's going to the league.
Yeah, I mean, you'll probably hear his name
again. Little Dumper.
In just a couple years. Pretty early on in whatever draft
he's
that
committed
is.
to, he's not going.
Yeah, but whatever college is recruiting him, just stop now.
Sign it up. Yeah, it's over.
Because he will not make it to campus.
And that is a prevailing theory now, as it was. LSU was able to get a ton of guys in last year's Major League draft to be able to come to campus. You saw what Major League Baseball has done.
Yes.
We're getting this talent back to Major League Baseball. There needs to be some sort of agreement as to, it almost feels like Major League Baseball is somewhat looking at college baseball as competition now in terms of how they want the product viewed, because college baseball continues to soar. It's making kids stars, and it's making it easier for Major League Baseball to evaluate the talent. But I think they want those guys earlier than that, to where they don't have leverage coming into a sophomore year, or whatever it may be, a junior year. It's like, just get them now, because they are that developed. But it kind of stinks because we had Josh Jordan on for a good minute until the internet decided to do the internet. But he was like, there has to be some sort of, and you can see the frustration, because you spend all year recruiting these guys. He's like, they had 18 guys committed, and he goes, you see, we got dinged up pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's, well, you have to do what worked, and last year it worked. And it's like, we're not going to not recruit the best players in the country. You have to be able to try and get them. But Major League Baseball has changed the amount of money that you can, the way that it's pooled together and all of those things. So it was just like we got dinged pretty good.
Yeah.
Because the money is now there. And so he wants to see some sort of change or some sort of way that you can know, because he's right about this too. Right, you can't even. There was no players at the Major League Baseball draft, and it's on All-Star Weekend. Like, that's a moment to.
It's the way
it's the worst draft in the world.
It's bad.
Well, not the worst draft in the world.
It's not the worst draft, but from a structure standpoint, it's awful. During All-Star Weekend.
Well, that could be cool.
The middle of the. Well, it could be, but like, these teams are still in the middle of playing, and I get that it's a very long season, so it's kind of hard to strike. It's not like the NFL where it's only 17 games in the playoffs and you have all these months off that you can do it. So I understand that. But it could just be structured in such a better way that it's not – these players are getting texts in the middle of the home run derby of, hey, you're drafted. And so it is a very, very interesting setup that the MLB has, and I agree. There's got to be some way around it so it's not just – kind of college coaches sitting and waiting and not knowing what's going to happen. And so we'll get into the MLB draft and the way it affected LSU later on this morning. But obviously the headline is LSU football at SEC Media Days yesterday. Brian Kelly took the podium first, along with three of his star players in Garrett Nussmeier, Whit Weeks, and Chris Hilton. I thought all three of the guys did an excellent job yesterday at the podium, answering questions and kind of discussing a lot of the things going into this season. Obviously, like, Whit Weeks is probably one of my favorite people to watch get interviewed, because I think he was at the podium for about 10 minutes, or the table, and he was smiling from tip to tail the entire time. Whit Weeks had a smile on his face. And we'll start with the players first, and then obviously get into some of the sound from Brian Kelly. I want to start with Whit Weeks talking about Harold Perkins, as that's going to be one of the biggest storylines going into the season. I did a NFL draft podcast last night. It's a week, like a daily NFL draft podcast. Like, they go live every day talking about the NFL draft year-round. And so they wanted to discuss LSU, so they messaged and had me on last night, and a lot of the discussion was around those two linebackers, and they discussed them as the best linebacking core in the country from an expectation standpoint, but obviously there's a lot put on Blake Baker and Harold Perkins to make sure he's in the right spot. But those two next to each other should be absolutely electric. So here's Whit Weeks talking about his linebacker mate, Harold Perkins.
On the field with your boy, Harold Perkins.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait to be out there playing with Harold. He's the best football player, the best defensive college football player in the world. So being able to play with him, he makes it easy to be a good football player, because you know he's going to be out there making plays, and you want to make plays for him too.
Yeah, I mean, look, the talent on Perkins is absolutely undeniable, and that's the reason why the expectations are as high as they are, because we've seen the talent at the highest level for Harold Perkins. It just comes down to, where is he going to fit in. We've seen him as an on-ball edge rusher his freshman year, which obviously I don't think is his true natural position, but he should still rush the passer because he's extremely skilled and talented. And we've seen him as an off-ball linebacker, and he showed some flashes in coverage, but can kind of get eaten up in some of those run fits. But I think those two next to each other, and I think I said this on that show last night, if the LSU defense reaches its ceiling, if it's as good as it can be, it's going to be because those two guys are on the field together playing off of each other at the highest level. And you heard Whit Weeks talk about Perk, and he said that is the best defensive player in college football. And it's easy to want to play next to him. And I am so excited to watch those two on the field together because they're two of the best in the country. And that was the discussion last night around those two guys. Are they both top 50 players in the draft? And I think 1,000%. And like I said, if this LSU defense is going to be what it's expected to be, it's going to be because of those two guys. And so I'm excited to watch them next to each other. Yes?
I have a longer cut if you want that.
Okay, run it.
I cannot wait to be out there playing with Harold. He's the best football player, the best defensive college football player in the world. So being able to play with him, he makes it easy to be a good football player because you know he's going to be out there making plays, and you want to make plays for him too.
Right side, second row.
Alex Byington on 3. Wait, you can talk about Harold, but he's dealt with a lot of injuries over his career, came in 5-star kind of kid. How have you seen him adjust to that, and where's the limit for him right now?
The sky's the limit for Harold. He's the best athlete I've probably ever seen in my whole life. So if you let Harold be Harold, he'll be a superstar. And it's not going to be hard for him to be a superstar.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't say it better myself. Like he's a freak athlete, one of the best in the world just from an athletic standpoint. And like Whit said, if you just let him be that, it's going to make the LSU defense better. LSU will be better for it. And that's going to be the storyline going in, is where does he fit in? Is the star position going to be the spot? I think it is, because it's going to allow him to just be an athlete and be a football player, use his instincts and be able to be off the ball or rush the quarterback when he needs to or when it's right. Those sorts of things. And then allow Whit to be that guy in the middle of the field that's working sideline to sideline with his hair on fire, smiling ear to ear, and just having a good time, man. It's going to be fun. Spectrum will care. Let Perk be Perk. Ain't that hard. I agree. And like the conversation about NFL, whatever, what I told the guys when they were, trying to get, some information on Perk when it comes to the draft, I said what needs to happen is Harold Perkins doesn't need to play a position next season that's going to get him drafted. It's him showing off everything that makes him special. A defensive coordinator and a head coach in the NFL are going to say, hey, that guy runs a 4.3 as a linebacker and is that talented in coverage and at rushing the quarterback and all these different things. They're going to take him early. So Harold Perkins is going to help boost the ceiling, and the way him and Whit Weeks are going to play next to each other is beyond important for LSU. Absolutely dominated the football game. Well, and I think a lot with that 2022 defense that's similar to now,
right,
is he's not the only one. In 2023, you had to circle two guys. You circled you circled the interior defensive line with Mason Smith and Mekhi Wingo, and then Harold Perkins, and that was it. You didn't circle anybody else on that defense, really. Now, and I talked about Patrick Payton last night. That's why you go get him to be your guy off the edge. You have a Gabe Relaford. You have those defensive tackles like Sadir Mitchell, Jacoby and Guillory, Don McKinley, Ahmad Bro. Go down the list, Bernard Gooden. You have Whit Weeks. You have West Weeks. You have Devon Keys. You have the defensive backs, A.J. Halsey, Mansour Delane. You went out and got those guys so that now all the pressure is not on number 7's shoulders. Like, you can't just circle Perk on this defense next year and make it like, yes, you're going to make your game plan if you're a defense around Harold Perkins, number 7 for LSU. That obviously, that can't be the end of it because they've got too much talent now around him that your focus can't strictly be Harold Perkins like it was in 23. Because in 2023, in my opinion, every opposing offense just circled number 4 and said, if we take him out of the game, we run away from him, we do this, that, and the other.
Don't let him beat you.
Right. It's not going to be the same story this year. So the defensive expectations start with number 40 and number 7, or maybe potentially
18,
number 18 and number 7.
And you never really got to see them on the field together.
Right.
Like, there were spots whenever they both played at the same time, but the emergence of Whit Weeks came after the injury to Harold Perkins, where he was thrust into, you're playing every down.
Right. Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
And you saw him in spots against USC where Weeks is out there, Perkins is out there, but Witt almost gets a pick. Like, he was like, I can't believe it was, in like slow motion, it was almost too easy for me to be able to make that play. And then you fast forward to the Arkansas game where he's tipping it to himself, catching it, shotgunning it, and spinning it in the end zone and getting a proud papa. Like, that's the form of Weeks I expect to see. And to see Perk a little bit, like you said, having people on every level of the defense you have to be concerned about as opposed to just 7, that's going to make a massive difference for his impact. And it also could cut into his impact.
Right.
Because he's not asked to do too much, but in the same thing, like, you'll be able to get a Perk that gets to play so much more free.
Yes. And it's going to make, like, Patrick Payton's going to be better for it. Like, my opinion, last year, Braden Swinson was better for it.
Yeah.
You're game planning for Harold Perkins. Guess what? I've got an NFL defensive end that's running right at you, you know? And so I think that the defense next season, the expectations should be high. And it's crazy to say that because you haven't seen it so far, really, under Brian Kelly. 2022 was a good defense. But outside of that, 2023, obviously abysmal. Last season was not the best. Like, there were some highs, but the lows were low. I mean, Jalen Milroe, Marcel Reed, like, those lows were low. So on to the offense, kind of turning the page. I want to hear Chris Hilton speak a little bit. And here is Chris talking about Garrett Nussmeier and his leadership. And then we'll also play the clip of Chris talking about the wide receiver room. Because Chris Hilton, like BK said, and like we talked about a little bit yesterday, is obviously one of the leaders in that room. That's why he got invited to media days. It was crazy when I did that podcast last night. They didn't talk about Hilton at all or really ask about Chris. Like, they asked about Nick Anderson, Aaron Anderson, Barry Brown, of course, but that was it on the wide receiver front. I was like, hey, guys, I'm just going to let y'all know now. There's a name that y'all are not touching on that you should be. Like, you're going to hear Chris Hilton's name a whole lot when you get to the nitty-gritty of draft season. When you get to January, February, March, into April, Chris Hilton's name is going to be said a good bit. And here's Hilton talking about QB1 as well as the wide receiver room at LSU.
Position this year. I would say the biggest thing I've seen from him is he took a big step being a leader, like more of a vocal leader that's leading, like not just leading the offense, but leading the whole team. And the sky's the limit for him. Like, he can do whatever he want to do as long as he continues to put the work in.
Like right now.
So I heard about that this morning. You know what I'm saying? I hope he's okay. But adding them to the room is not going to do anything but, I don't want to say this, make us more dynamic, right? Said this in previous interviews. You would think it would cause problems, but it's not, because we have so many weapons. Like, you try to put emphasis on one of us, you still got to worry about 2 others, right? And if you somehow find a way to guard 2 of us, you still got a 3rd you got to worry about. So,
like right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the expectations lie offensively. I mean, Garrett Nussmeier is now going to have an entire offseason to sit back, look at film, dissect. You know, he talked about it yesterday. He's gone back and watched that Texas A&M game, specifically that first interception where it kind of all fell down from there, a million times. Like, that's the first time he's been able to really sit back and watch film and dissect it. And the expectations are high because of him. But that wide receiver room, like, I really sat down yesterday and kind of dissected it before I talked about them a good bit. The talent in that room is special. Like, and I don't think I'm breaking any news by saying that. But from a standpoint of, you have Aaron Anderson returning, who was one of Nussmeier's, if not his go-to target last season. You saw it in some of the biggest games. It was Lacey and Anderson. In the biggest games, it was Lacey and Anderson. Mm-hmm. And some, Mason Taylor as well. But from a wide receiver standpoint, South Carolina went to Aaron Anderson multiple times. Ole Miss, Aaron Anderson multiple times. Like, down the stretch of games, that was his guy. UCLA, it was 3rd and Anderson in that first half. Like, every big 3rd down, Nuss targeted number 1. That's where it starts. Then you bring in, or then you have Chris Hilton, who you saw what you got in the last 2 games of the season against Oklahoma and Baylor. Like, as good as it gets when he's on the field. LSU is a completely different team with Chris Hilton on the field. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You saw it last season, how different they looked against Oklahoma and Baylor than they did earlier in the year because Hilton was back on the field. Berrien Brown, Xavier Thomas, Nick Anderson, somebody that's different. You got all this speed. Now guess what? You've got 6'4", 200, whatever. That's going to be a red zone threat, a big body that can catch it over the middle. Like, you've built this room to make Nussmeier even more successful. You have added wide receivers that just give him more toys, more tools.
6'4", 220.
Like, somebody that's different than the rest of the room, because that's what you needed. You've got Berrien Brown, speedster, Xavier Thomas, speed, Aaron Anderson, speed. You've got Chris Hilton, speed. Go down the list. What did you need? You need a big body that can catch it over the middle of the field, that can get you the jump ball in the red zone, that can run that goal line fade, catch it back shoulder. In traffic, you went and got that Nick Anderson. Like Chris said, hey, you can game plan for all of us. You can take away 2 of us. There's still a 3rd or 4th receiver out there. You can't game plan for everybody. And so the from a PR standpoint, we're really boosting it right now because it's really hard not to. It just, you could feel the confidence from the guys when they were talking about this team, consistently repeating how close of a group they are, the brotherhood that they are. Like, it's hard to not get excited. I think that's where my anxiety came from yesterday, listening to it, was because the confidence that all 4 of them, BK, Nuss, Witt, and Hilton, spoke with, instilled excitement and expectations, and that in turn turned into anxiety of, like, I mean, if they're this excited about it, like, I haven't felt this good going into, it's hard to feel good going into a year because we've been let down, especially the last, 5 seasons. So we're going to get to some of the sound from Brian Kelly. Don't forget, every single day we are brought to you by AJ Sports Cards. You see the boxes of cards here right in front of me. AJ Sports Cards is based out of Baton Rouge, right off of Drusilla Lane, 3348 Drusilla Lane, and their phone number is 225-831-4508. They've got a great collection of cards if you're a collector, but they've also got collectibles and merchandise. They've got stuff like signed jerseys, signed cards, signed photos, all these different things from LSU athletes, professional athletes, but they have such a cool collection of LSU athletes things. If you don't know, if you're a card collector or you're interested, or you just want some cool LSU collectibles, I would suggest heading over to AJ Sports Cards. Just go check it out. Even if you're not going in with the plan to purchase anything, just walk in, check out what they've got. You'll go through the door. What I want you to do is turn right to your left and look at the kind of shadow box they have of LSU memorabilia. Check that out because you'll probably end up wanting to leave with something. So head over to AJ Sports Cards, 3348 Drusilla Lane, and let them know you heard about them here on Tingle & Co. in the mornings. So, Andrew Messina, I do not want to see Nuss drop back and throw 50 times. Yep, that is the hope, is that won't happen. As much as you've added wide receiver help, and rightfully so, you wanted to give Nussmeier more weapons. You don't want Nuss to be a 50 drop back guy. The run game is more important than all of that. Like Messina said, if they can't run the ball consistently, it's going to be very frustrating each Saturday. I agree. E-Dub, I think the offensive success will hinge on LSU changing its running scheme. Got to do more than shotgun inside zone. Yes, you've got to get away from the zone read running the ball. Like the running game, the running scheme being built around the zone read was great when you had Jaden Daniels in the backfield because he was going to pull it and run it for 50 yards in the end zone, or pull it and dump it off to Mason Taylor, or he was a threat of pulling it and it made the holes for Caleb Jackson and Logan Diggs massive running through the line. That cannot be the case anymore. You saw it fail last year when you tried to do zone read runs with Nussmeier back there. You can mix it in, of course. That can't be the structure of your run game. It just can't. And we talked about it a whole lot last season. It cannot be. Like E-Dub said, run schemes have to be more diverse. I agree. And that's where these weapons that you've brought in come into play. I think you're going to see Xavier Thomas mixed in a good bit back there. You're going to see Barry and Brown, tunnel screens, all these end arounds, touch passes, all these sorts of things that you can do that simulate the run game. All of that's going to be used. All of those things add to the run game. RPOs, like I'm kind of in the mindset of EA College Football 26 right now, of like it's got to be hard to guard an inside zone RPO where it's either handing it off to Caden Durham or pulling it and dumping it off to Barry and Brown or Xavier Thomas or Aaron Anderson with blockers in front of them. That's where the excitement from an offensive standpoint can come from when you talk about these weapons. So we're going to get into some of the sound from Brian Kelly. We'll start with him talking about Garrett Nussmeier going into his second year, and then follow that up with BK talking about the defense and the struggles that they've had the last couple of seasons and where they see that kind of improving. Because I listened to, on the way here this morning, I listened to last year's SEC Media Days, and it was a lot of talk about being balanced and talking about taking the step forward from a defensive standpoint. And I believe they did. They took a step forward last year, but it was not the journey was not complete. You went from you were no longer the worst defense in the country. You have to take another step forward. And so this is going to be BK talking about the step forward for his quarterback going into year 2, but also his defense under the call of Blake Baker in year 2.
Question, Emily. I would say that when you're comparing him to Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow, that's a high bar for anybody, right? But Garrett is at LSU because he loves LSU and he wants to lead our football team to a championship. And if the Heisman follows with that, I think he's good with that. But I answer the question this way is because all of our conversations with him aren't about individual goals. They're about how do I lead this football team to a championship. And all we've seen is him leading, him being selfless. And his selflessness is going to be the differentiator from last year to this year, as well as the experience that he had playing against really good SEC teams.
Coach, we're going to...
Yeah, I mean, you cannot underestimate and underplay how important it is to have all of that experience. Like, as much as it's good from a standpoint of getting to sit back and watch film and understand what you did wrong and what you need to grow on, you also now are more comfortable in environments. There's no more, I'm seeing these things for the first time. That's gone. Like, Jaden Daniels, when he got here his first year, he saw a lot of things for the first time. Joe Burrow, when he played his first season at LSU, saw a lot of things for the first time. And I'm not trying to compare them as players, but from a standpoint of career path, it's similar. Garrett Nussmeier saw a lot of things for the first time last season. He's been around the program. He's seen different things, and that's why his first year was more successful than theirs, where he throws for 4,000 yards and has the success offensively. But now he still saw a lot of things for the first time. He played on Kyle Field for the first time with those fans screaming at him. He dropped back and threw the ball 50 times for the first time. That's not going to be the case anymore. Hopefully he doesn't have to drop back 50 times anymore. But this season, it won't be any firsts. I won't say there won't be any firsts, but there won't be as many firsts for Garrett Nussmeier in 2025 because of the experience he gained last season. And speaking of last season moving into this year, like I said, Blake Baker will be leading the defense for the second year. And BK talked about him, said he was an elite defensive coordinator. He will be leading this defense for the second year. And last year you saw the improvement, but what was kind of the one thing when we kind of talked about, we said he didn't really have the horses in totality, the depth. They went out and they added that. Here's BK talking about his defense going into 2025.
Well, I think we've got an outstanding defensive coordinator and a defensive staff. Blake Baker is in my opinion, elite in the field of defensive coordinators. We needed to give him some more tools. And look, I've been the head football coach at LSU, and I know that we have not played the kind of defense necessary to win a national championship. I think we put a roster together in this offseason, along with young players that have taken lumps along the way as they've developed, and given Blake now the tools to play championship level defense. Because clearly the 2023 offensive football team we had was good enough to win a national championship. We weren't good enough as a team, and a lot of that had to do with addressing some shortcomings we had on defense. We think we've done that. I love our roster. I love our team and the way they interact, the camaraderie of our group, the seriousness and focus, their intent. So I think we're going to have a defense that is going to be representative. And look, anytime you go on the road and play a team like Clemson, you better bring a defense with you.
We'll start it right there. You're going to find out a lot about your defense week one when you face off against Cade Klubnik, who is in that conversation with Nussmeier of the best quarterback in the country. But from a defensive standpoint, one of the pieces I really liked what he said was talking about the younger guys that are still on this defense that have been here. Javian Toviano, Ashton Stamps, Deshaun Spears. Now, you know, the linebacking core like Devon Keys and Tylen Singleton and Kalaj Cobbins. Guys that might not see the field, you know, all that much. They're not going to be, you know, in that starting 11 if I were to map out what I think it is right now, except maybe Stamps. But they got that experience early on. Like you saw the growth for Ashton Stamps from year one to year two, from getting kind of thrown into the fire against Ole Miss and Alabama in year one in 2023 to being a full-time guy and leading the SEC in pass deflections last season, pass breakups last year. You saw the growth. Toviano, obviously somebody that – or Taviano didn't get all that much run last year, had some of the off-the-field issues. They've still tried to find a position for him. Those guys are now the, you know, especially Toviano, like depth pieces in my opinion. Like now you went out, you brought in A.J. Halsey, Marcus Cooley. If you wouldn't have brought those guys in, Toviano's a starting safety for your team. Well, you go out and get those guys, you're going to bring them in to be starting guys, to be your top-end safeties. But you have Taviano back there as a depth piece that's still going to get run, still serve a role. The depth is what, in my opinion, has grown astronomically from a defensive standpoint. As much as you've gotten better top end, where you bring in guys that like 8 of your 11 on defense are going to be transfer portal players. When you talk about Mansour Delane, Patrick Payton, Sadir Mitchell, Jack Pyburn, TaMarcus Cooley, A.J. Halsey, Bernard Gooden, like a lot of guys are going to be guys that didn't play for LSU last season. But the growth that you hope to see in the guys that were here last year is why your depth is in such a better place. Taviano, Spears, even guys like Ahmad Bro and Dominic McKinley, Gabe Relaford, Devon Keys, Tylen Singleton, Ashton Stamps, P.J. Woodland, like all of these guys were guys that you expected to end up being your top guys on defense this season before you went out and made these portal commitments, these portal additions. Now you bring in the top-end talent, and you still have those guys that you expected to play huge roles to be depth pieces and still serve in a very important role for this defense. That's where the confidence comes from. And the other thing is, like Ahmad Bro talked about, it's a second year in his system, in Blake Baker's system, where they get to understand the jargon a little bit better. They understand the playbook better. It allows them to play faster and freer. One of the terms that was used a lot by those draft analysts that I was talking to last night when talking about some of the LSU players was overly aggressive. When they talked about Whit Weeks, they said that he plays with his hair on fire, which he does, but he can be overly aggressive in his pursuit angles and can take bad angles because of that, or can get kind of caught up in run fits or different sorts of things. When they talked about A.J. Halsey, big-time safety, plays really well against the run, can disrupt passing lanes, but can be overly aggressive. Mansour Delane can be overly physical and aggressive. These are just some of the terms those guys used to talk about this defense. And I said, well, guys, I get from an NFL draft standpoint the term overly aggressive or the way they play, that style of play might not be conducive to a draft scout standpoint. I was like, but from Blake Baker's standpoint and the way he wants to construct this defense, you want to talk about wreaking havoc, you want aggressive guys back there. You want smart and aggressive guys back there. And that's what Mansour Delane is, experienced. That's what A.J. Halsey is, experienced. Whit Weeks. That's what you saw the most improvement from Weeks from his freshman year. A lot of the reason why he didn't get as much run as a freshman was because he could be overly aggressive, and he had to kind of calm down a little bit. You saw him grow astronomically, where he had 120 tackles last year. And so he's going to still have that aggression. It's going to be a smart aggression, a tactical aggression. Harold Perkins, aggression. Like the havoc and the aggression that this defense is going to have is because Blake Baker has now structured it in the way that fits him. And like Ahmad Bro said, their understanding of him and his defense allows for them to play free. Take some of the pressure off of their shoulders. No longer having to stress about where do I fit in? What do I do here? What does that mean? What does this mean? We now understand. We've seen it. We know what you mean when you say this, that, and the other. We can play free and cause havoc. Make plays that are there to be made. And now, make plays that aren't there to be made. Because that was the thing we talked about last season, right, Lloyd? We said the one thing you wanted to see from the defense is be in the right spots, no longer have all these bad missed assignments that you saw in 23, and make the play that is there to be made. And I think they did a relatively good job on that. There obviously were some missteps against A&M and Alabama. Now it's going to be in the right spots, which I think they did a great job of last year. Like just from a 23 to 24 standpoint, it was such an improvement from being in the right place. Now you need to be in the right place. You should always make the play that's there to be made. And now the next step is you want to have guys that are going to make the play that's not always there to be made. Like be a playmaker. Go make the play happen. Jump the passing lane if you're Mansour Delane or A.J. Halsey. Go get the quarterback if you're Harold Perkins. Blow up the interior of that offensive line if you're Sadir Mitchell. Like, now be in the right spot, make the play that's there for you to make, but then also go make the play yourself.
Just to highlight the change from Matt House's last year to Blake Baker being added, LSU's defense in 2023. LSU ranked 108th nationally in yards per play allowed. Can't happen. 113th in turnovers. Can't happen. And 91st in yards per run allowed. Can't happen. 2024, top 60 scoring defense that Baker looks to build on in year two. So obviously you went from a team that was 113th in turnovers to a team that was top 60 in scoring.
Right.
Like, you saw the changes happen on the field. I don't think they were a dynamic defensive unit.
Right.
I don't think it was something that you're like, hey, LSU, go get you a stop right here. Like, you're scared of the defense. Or I think they played good assignment football, and I think we've all watched enough college football to know that offense usually beats defense. And if you're able to get a couple of stops, that's where the game can change. Like LSU did, Arkansas, I'll go back to, was their best game of the year. Whenever they consistently were getting off the field on third down and turning that ball back over to the offense, that's where LSU can take you out of a football game, because they're so, I guess offensively they can control the clock, and they did that so well against Arkansas, where they kind of found a little bit of their run game. Caden Durham always goes for 100 yards,
right?
And you were able to control the clock and trust your defense, where you didn't have to sprint down the field and get into a scoring match like you had to do in previous years,
right.
where if you give up 50, you had to score 51, and it felt like there were parts of that defense and parts of that year where the LSU defense was playing so well that you could see that they could rely on them a little bit. Everything up until the A&M second half,
right?
You felt really good about where your defense was pointing and the direction it was trending. And yes, they still gave up some big plays, but some of that was what the offense did to put you in those situations. So it ended up kind of being short fields, things like that. And then obviously you have the outlier of the Alabama game where nothing went right.
Right.
And that is hopefully over, because it did. As much as we harp on it being like a running quarterback that LSU can't stop, it seemed to just be one running quarterback that LSU couldn't stop. Like, DJ Lagway didn't perform especially well. He was, 12 for 25 against LSU. Marcel Reed came in, and it was 3 plays that changed the outcome of that football game. And so the defense was relatively, I would say, okay. They weren't the worst in the league.
No, not at all.
And it shows how much more competitive you could be. If you had that defense in 23, you win a national championship.
Yeah,
and so you're trying to find that balance. And with Nussmeier, you have to feel good about what the offense is going to do. And I would feel that way almost regardless of who they had added. Like, if you don't get Berrien Brown or Nick Anderson or Bauer Sharp, you would still feel good about the LSU offense because of who's leading it.
Right.
Now you give him all of those weapons, you start to feel really good about what the LSU offense can do. And not only from adding weapons from an offensive perspective, but from a defensive perspective and giving Blake Baker more things to work with, which is what they needed improvement on the most. You went out and got players that are going to come in and start. Day one, not a question mark, at positions of need. And so they'll have the talent, and it feels like they have the coaching on the defensive side. So to say that went from a concern to a strength.
Right. And that's the craziest thing, is that it is now talked about, including me and you right now, as a strength. Like, that you've turned the page like that. You made the improvement from 23 to 24, then now expect what it's going to be from 24 to 25. I would go out on a limb and say that I think this is going to be a top 20 defense, which I don't think is a crazy hot take. Like, I think LSU is going to put out a top 20 defense this season in 2025 because of the pieces they've added, the things that we said, like Ahmad Bro said, understanding Baker, knowing the terminology, knowing the playbook better, being able to play fast and free and cause havoc. I think it's a top 20 defense, and I'd say top 15 defensive unit because of the pieces they've added and just the freedom that they should be able to play with now. And when you look at the odds for the SEC winner, LSU is sitting at number 4, and there's a pretty big gap between 4 and 5. And 1 through 4 are all relatively close to one another. It goes from LSU plus 700 on Bet365 to Ole Miss plus 1,400 on FanDuel. LSU plus 950, Ole Miss plus 1,000. A little bit closer there. Just from the top 5, Texas number 1, Georgia number 2, Alabama number 3, LSU 4, Ole Miss 5. That is the top 5 for SEC winner odds.
Say that again.
Texas has the highest odds to win the SEC. Georgia in second, Alabama in third best odds, LSU fourth best odds, Ole Miss fifth best odds. And when you look at that top 5, only one team has a returning starting quarterback. Mm-hmm. And that team is LSU. And that's why my expectations are as high as they are. You've seen that be a consistent factor in success for teams. Will Howard in Ohio State last year, he was an experienced guy at quarterback. The expectations for Clemson going into next year because they have Klubnik returning. J.J. McCarthy at Michigan was a returning starting quarterback. Joe Burrow in 2019 was a returning starting quarterback. You know, you go down the list of these teams that have found success. Georgia in 21 and 22, or whatever the years were that they won. Stetson Bennett was a returning starting quarterback. He had the experience. Texas is returning Arch Manning, who got some run last year, has the highest expectations out of any quarterback that was not the starter the prior season, as I can remember. Georgia bringing back Gunnar Stockton, who got some run later on in the year in the playoff game because of the injury to Beck. Beck ends up at Miami. Alabama, I'm assuming, is Ty Simpson, the guy that's been there, couldn't crack and win the job over Milroe. I think he got that one start against got in against, USF 2 years ago for Milroe, got subbed in because Milroe wasn't playing well. Obviously didn't win the job of Milroe, now gets the nod. LSU, Nussmeier returning, and then Ole Miss, Austin Simmons, who showed flashes last season but did not get the job over Dart, obviously. So that's why the high expectations are where they're at.
I mean, Ty Simpson really lost him that football game.
Right. I mean, LSU's the only one out of that top 5 with a returning QB. And so getting the odds at plus 950 on FanDuel, I wouldn't be mad at throwing $10 on that.
No.
$20 on that.
50?
200.
Sure.
Big units.
Big unit.
But
Randy Johnson play.
There you go. But don't forget, every single day, we are brought to you by CAS Roofing and Advice. Let me get this sign for our guy, Pierce Patterson. There it is, 225-910-0619. I obviously did the read yesterday. I'm doing it again today because the weather later on this week,
from
what I've seen, could be kind of concerning. There's some tropical movements there in the Gulf. To make sure your roof is in good condition, call Pierce for an inspection. Give him a call. Let him come check your roof out. If you need a repair, some silicone on your turtle vents, or your pipe jack, something to make sure there's not any leaks or any issues, give Pierce a call, 225-910-0619. He'll come check it out. Look at that. Some tropical developments in the Gulf. Allow CAS to come check out your roof. Make sure you're in good shape before this, but also after. If anything does transpire during the storm, give Pierce a call, 225-910-0619. He'll come check out your roof. Make sure you're in good shape. If you're not, he is as trustworthy as they get to help you take care of whatever you need, whether it's a repair, whether it's a full replacement, or it's just some odds and ends that need to be taken care of, and you need guidance and advice. Give Pierce a call. There he is, the redhead right there, front and center, 225-910-0619. The crew at CAS is the best. CAS, customer always satisfied. It's not just a roof. It's our reputation. Give them a call. Give Pierce a call, 225-910-0619. We will take a quick break here as we have rolled into hour number 2, and we'll come right back and talk a little MLB draft, a little LSU baseball, because I tell you what, as much as we've talked highly about LSU football coming up this next season, I started to feel real good last night about some LSU baseball in 2026, so we'll be right back with that after this.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's a repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
Hey Tiger fans, when you're traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Branding at Go Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also, stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Because this time a year ago, we're sitting in Dallas and we're talking about, hey, why'd you stay at LSU? Probably could have gone a lot of places. A lot of places would have wanted you. Now, a year removed from me where you go over 4,000 yards passing, why did you decide to come back to LSU instead of going pro?
Well, I just couldn't envision anybody else being the quarterback that leads LSU to a national championship. You know, as I've said time and time again, you know, LSU and Louisiana means the world to me. You know, also, you know, my faith is a huge part of why, my why. And, you know, I can just remember times just praying for opportunities to lead LSU to national championship, to have that opportunity and to have it right in front of my face. You know, it was wrong to turn it down, you know, and so I'm very grateful, very blessed, and very thankful.
Because this time a year ago, we're sitting in Dallas.
All right, welcome back here. Hour number 2 officially underway as we are closing it out this morning. I appreciate you guys joining us as we turn the conversation from LSU football to something that brings even more excitement is LSU baseball. As the MLB draft wrapped up yesterday, saw 9 LSU players get drafted. See if I can name them all off the top of my head. Cade Anderson, Chase Shores, Ethan Fry, Anthony Ianson, Daniel Dickinson, Jacob Myers, Jared Jones, Cade Woods, Connor Ware. I think that was 9.
That was it.
I wasn't counting it, but it sounds like I'm confident in myself. But you saw 9 Tigers get drafted, and then obviously shout out to the Pirates for finally getting Paul Skeen some help from the big slugger. They went back to the well, both LSU and the name
Jared Jones.
They've got a pitcher named Jared Jones. They've also got a pitcher that they drafted from LSU. So this was written in the stars almost. So Jared Jones ends up a Pirate. And then obviously you see 8 of the LSU high school signees get drafted as well. But there were a handful of names, Lloyd, that we did not hear called in the MLB draft, which could hold some pretty big importance looking at 2026. Am I correct?
Yeah, some familiar faces that maybe you've seen before.
Yeah.
Some people that played pivotal roles on LSU's baseball team that helped to win the national championship that will now, I guess, return.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the announcement last night from one of those names, and Zach Callen, who obviously had the game of his life. What was it, against Arkansas in the final game before the finals in the College World Series, where he goes out there, extends, looked really good, and played a massive role in the season overall as kind of a stopper/closer, and then ended up showing out in a starting position later on in the season. He makes the announcement that he's returning. Reeves also announces on Twitter last night that he's returning. I believe he'll probably get a look at that second base job defensively, because obviously the bat can play. That was the conversation all year. The guy doesn't hit 300 every year before he got to LSU on accident. And then obviously just some struggles defensively at third as Dickinson had second base locked up. And so you get those 2 announcements last night. But the biggest name, I guess, from a question mark standpoint for LSU, it started with obviously Ethan Fry getting drafted as high as he did is where the conversation began. He goes 95 to the Astros, which shout out to the Houston Astros scouting department because you nailed it. Like, if you didn't draft him at 95 and he slides and he comes back to LSU, he's probably a top 15 pick the next year. But you went out and got him, and he's going to be a player for you, Houston. But that stirred the conversation up of, okay, Fry's gone, Larson's in the portal, Stanfield is in the draft. Who's going to be the third outfielder? Well, Stanfield's name ends up not being called, Lloyd. And does that give you some confidence in what your starting outfield could look like in 2026?
It's going to look awfully familiar, doesn't it?
A little similar, right? You know, only your everyday starter at left field and center field, and then your platoon guy in right who now has the job all to himself, and Jake Brown. An outfield that consists of Derek Curiel in year 2.
Pretty good.
Chris Stanfield, which you saw the improvements offensively he made just in 1 year at LSU, going in his second year at LSU, his senior season, and then Jake Brown going into his money year. That's the best unit in college baseball.
Yeah, without really looking around the country and knowing what other people have. I mean, I felt like it was one of the best units in college baseball last year. Mm-hmm. And you'd only expect them to get better. And I think from a Stanfield's perspective, obviously he has to be disappointed. He put together a phenomenal year.
Right.
Was somebody that, if given the opportunity to go, I would not have blamed him for leaving and starting his professional baseball career because – really, when you look at it, what more can I do?
Right.
Like, you upped your average almost 15 points. You played every day. You played every day center field.
Yes.
Clutch. Like, obviously, the speed plays, the defense plays, the bat was improved upon tremendously. And so I think he was probably like, maybe I do get a call because of what I've done. And there might be somebody that sees me and go, this is how I should be utilized even more. I don't know what you would do differently if you're LSU that would have made him more of a palatable draft pick.
That means you're everyday center fielder.
Yeah, I mean, and if anything, he's going to come back and be put in the same spot. Like, he'll probably bat 9 again. But even bigger than what he did on the field, I think this is huge for the off the field. Like, because you saw the turnover from 23 to 24 where it felt you looked around, it's like nobody's here.
Right.
And now you have people that have played pivotal roles the last 2 years that are all returning. Stanfield being a 1-year guy, but somebody that clearly changed the way or changed the dynamic of the locker room with just his attitude. He was, some player of the year for...
Yeah, he got the, the Tony Gwynn Community Award?
Tony Gwynn Community Award. So, and everybody talks about Chris Stanfield, the way he, lights up a room whenever he walks into it. Losing guys like that stings.
Yes.
It hurts to look around and not have some of those glue guys, some of the camaraderie guys that are like, oh, hell yeah, Stanfield's back. Like, that's massive. And then you have Eddie Yaman, another one of those guys that didn't even get to play, that had 13 homers, batted over 300, and didn't even pick up a bat for LSU. He gets a chance to play now. And so there's if you go down the list, I had to kind of do this because I'm in the Omaha Express group chat.
Right.
That was getting a little we're losing everybody. Who's the recruits that are coming in? Oh, we didn't get any of those either. I was like, boys, think about the finite amount of room that there was left. You have returning Jake Brown, Derek Curiel, Stephen Milam, John Pearson, Kate Arambidi, Tanner Reeves, Eddie Yaman. Now throw Chris Stanfield on that list. Those are all just position players. Now when you look at pitching, William Schmidt.
This is the kicker right here.
Maverick Rizzi, Kason Evans, Cooper Williams, Gavin Guidry, Zach Cowan, Jaden Newt. And the biggest name on this list I don't think people have mentioned, just because he can't go anywhere and you didn't get to see it, Devin Sheeran.
Right.
That is arm on arm on arm on arm. And
on top of the guys they brought in from the portal.
I was about to say, and they added 3 more pitchers from the portal.
Right.
So they're going to throw the shit out of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, you saw the model at which they won last season. Dominant pitching, stellar defense, and capitalizing on mistakes, especially from an offensive standpoint. The team is constructed to do the same exact thing.
Yeah. I know people are going to look through this lineup and go, where's your guy with over 20 homers? LSU proved you didn't really need that last year. I mean, Jared Jones was a great thing to have in the lineup, and he did have some immense moments with home runs and was able to get you out to extended leads. But LSU also went through stretches where Jared Jones didn't play well.
Right.
And they were still able to win baseball games. We talked about it all year.
Right.
It's like, Jared Jones, you can calm down, brother. You don't have to carry this team.
Yes, we're not on your back again.
And so I do understand the concern of losing Ethan Fry and Jared Jones as your
Luis
two,
Hernandez.
like Luis Hernandez. But in terms of just like sheer power,
right?
Those are your two guys that you like. If you tread very carefully, whenever you're pitching to these guys, they could change the scoreboard with the swing.
Right.
But I do think that you'll have more consistency throughout the lineup when it comes to the homers. Again, I would see Curiel going for 10. Like double-digit homer guys in this lineup: Brown, Curiel, Milam, Pearson, Aaron Beatty, Reeves.
Right. Well, and to me, like Andrew Messina in the chat says, not much pop in that lineup for next season. I agree, but I'm like John Pearson, there is some pop in that bat.
He'll hit over 15.
And then the guys they've brought in from the portal, Seth Dardar hit 13 at Kansas State last year. I'm not saying he's going to hit 13 again at LSU, but there's pop in that bat. Braden Simpson from High Point, the transfer to LSU.
Hit 22.
Like, there's pop in that bat too. So there is some pop in some of the bats that are going to be joining LSU, but obviously you do not have, like Lloyd said, Ethan Fry and Jared Jones, who are going to be the guys that instill fear in the pitchers that are on the mound.
But if you have 7 or 8 guys hit over 10 home runs, that's
right. Well, and if you continue to have the pitching that you're expecting to have, you don't need 28 bombs from Jared Jones and 23 from Tommy White. Or, like, you don't need these 20 home run guys if you have Kason Evans and Zach Cowan and William Schmidt and Devin Sheeran just shoving the baseball. And the guys like Danny Lockenmeyer that you're bringing in, like these guys that can pitch, and you continue to play defense.
Yeah, defense isn't going to – I don't think defense will take – well, it will take a step back. Because no Braswell, no Dickinson.
Yes.
But outfield defense will be fine. And then Reeves goes back to, if he plays second, goes back to his natural position.
Milam is still the best shortstop in the country.
Yep. Pearson will be, for some, we'll look at that as a project. I firmly believe in his ability to be an athlete and be able to play third base. If you haven't seen the 8th grade highlights in football, he's tracking things down. Like, he can move and he can catch. Like, he'll be able to play the position.
Or if it's Dardar or Simpson, that play one of the, some of the, like,
somebody's gonna.
There's some options.
They're all going to play.
Yes,
it'll be a lot like, and I think that's the formula that Jay is going with. Is it dangerous? Yes, because you have to have not only and this is where Jay consistently says, "I'm recruiting not just the player but the person."
Right.
You have to recruit the person if you're going to come into a situation where you don't know you're going to be playing every day, but then you also are sold on the vision of you're making an impact.
Right.
This is how baseball games are won. And if you can get people that believe that, the person that believes that, then you can have a sustainable model of having 11 guys that can play for 9 spots.
Right. Well, I mean, you saw Seth Dardar sit right here and talk about it. He was picking between entering the workforce as an engineer or playing baseball at LSU. I don't think he's overly worried about if he doesn't get that starting third base spot or if he has to platoon or DH or whatever.
And
he said, what position does he play, Lloyd? He said, what, left batter's box?
Left-handed batter's box.
Like,
I'll be able to swing it.
Yeah. And he said he was running into the wall trying to prove his coach at Kansas State that he could play in the outfield just to give him a spot.
Right.
He ran into the wall at practice, and coach said, don't ever go back out there.
He was trying to rob homers at BP. He's like, I came down with it.
Right.
He's like, quit.
Stop.
I need you to play.
Yes.
He's like, I'm just trying to let you know I can flash the leather out here. But this is the same guy that was actively avoiding phone calls, so waiting for the LSU call.
Accidentally talked to TCU.
Yeah, because he just got a DM from LSU, and he's like, oh, this must be the number.
Nope.
Not. And then LSU calls while he's talking to TCU. He's like, oh, brother.
Josh Jordan's like, hey, buddy, answer the phone.
Answer the phone.
Don't decline my call again. P-Dub asks, do you think Bear is 100% gone, Lloyd?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, you could make the argument to come back and make NIL money, which he would, but he has no leverage to get drafted next year if he does that. What more can he show? You've seen the power numbers. He could maybe not have the slump he had again if he came back.
Well, he's just going to get attacked.
But it's just going to do the same thing. You know, it could look eerily similar to last year, subtract the leverage of being able to come back, maybe he goes undrafted. Like, you got drafted to a program or to a franchise, make the most of it. I don't think Bear returns. Bada Bing, Bada Boom says, I don't think Stanfield will come back. Which I don't see why Stanfield wouldn't.
Yeah, what?
He didn't get drafted.
So you think he signs a free agent deal and just rolls the dice? I mean, that's clearly a possibility.
Right. It's not set in stone for Stanny to come back. But
if it was a question before the draft and then he doesn't get drafted,
right,
that would lead you to an answer, or at least more of a probable than not of an answer.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think Stanny was a talking point prior to the draft. Like Lloyd said, will he go to the draft at all? He ends up going undrafted. I think he would make more money at LSU than as an undrafted free agent. And so, in your mind, if you didn't, like, it's the kind of similar to the Bear situation, besides other than the fact that Bear got drafted, he didn't. Stanfield loses his leverage, but he didn't get drafted with the leverage. So why not just go back to LSU, make the NIL money, and then see what happens the next year, sign that undrafted free agent deal? Andrew Messina with the biggest point when you're looking at LSU next season. William Schmidt has to make the jump next season. Has to. I think that'll be. Oh, there we go. We're back. Got it. Good job, Lloyd. Thank you for working hard back there. But appreciate you guys sticking with us. Christian, you ruined it. It's your fault. You joined the chat. Look what happens. Get out of here. You cannot be here until you're here in person back in Baton Rouge. But I mean, that was kind of the gist of the conversation, was just what LSU is going to be returning. It's very hard to not be confident in what it's going to look like last year, obviously, from a standpoint of what you're returning position player-wise and pitching. So, excited to watch LSU baseball in 2026 and the coverage that hopefully we will do year-round now that, you know, we kind of got it under our wings at Tingle & Co. last year. Now that we've got Tingle & Co. to ourselves, we're running this thing. The baseball coverage will not stop. Appreciate all of you guys and your support. And I believe it might be time to do some trivia if our Wi-Fi will allow us.
I found
another one, a third one?
I did.
Let's go. Let's add to the routine. I love it. But if you didn't see the Draft Professor podcast that I did last night, I forget what it's called. Forgot what the podcast is called, but I did retweet it from our Twitter page. If you want to go listen, it was about an hour and 20 minutes of me and 4 other guys that work in different mediums doing podcasts. Well, one covers the Bengals, the Eagles, and then one guy is based out of Buffalo. He's a high school football coach, but does a really good job at breaking down some of the draft film. I joined them and talked about some of the LSU players for about an hour last night. So if you want to go check that out, the link is on our Twitter. Go listen to what they all had to say. Because they had some really good breakdown on some of the players on this LSU football roster that was really good on top of because I made it very clear from the jump when I talked to them, look, I'm not a draft guy. I'm really not even an X and O's guy. I was like, but I can tell you kind of the background stories of some of these guys, the expectations this season, and things like that. And then they joined, and they really gave some really good X and O scheme, technique type analysis on some of the players, especially the defensive guys that LSU has added, guys like Patrick Payton, Mansour Delane, A.J. Halsey, and then, of course, Garrett Nussmeier, Harold Perkins, Whit Weeks, Aaron Anderson, Barry Brown, Nick Anderson, some of those heavy hitters that LSU has. Go check that out on our Twitter. And, Lloyd, show me your new find.
Oh.
Or we can just do the normal trivia.
No, I just wanted to, because you were talking NFL draft stuff, I found this on Harold Perkins.
Yes.
And I just wanted you to see the odds and ends of how Harold Perkins is being evaluated. Prospect grade of 70, top 100 player.
Yep.
59 rounds 4 or 5.
Yeah, no, I mean
round 5. Like people don't know.
You're like that's what I was that's what I told them last night. I was like, look, this guy, and I said it, and I don't think they really liked the way I worded this, but I was like, NFL coaches are the cockiest people in the world. A DC or a head coach is going to look at Harold Perkins, all the intangibles, he's going to test off the charts, all of those things, and say, I can make that work. You've seen undersized linebackers before. You've seen coaches like, even Dennis Allen. Like, I always thought Dennis Allen would love Harold Perkins. The Eagles, he would fit right in on that defense. The Chiefs would love him. Go down the list. Todd Bowles in Tampa Bay would love him. Like, go down the list of some of these defenses. These DCs and head coaches, somebody's going to see Harold Perkins in the second round and be like, hey, that is top-end talent. At one point was like a top 10 pick, lock. I'm going to go get him. I'm going to take a flyer on him and he's probably going to be a dog. I don't see Harold Perkins dropping to round 4 or 5. The guys that I talked to last night all had him a round 3 and above grade, and most of them had him as a second-round guy. So I think Harold Perkins is a day 2 player, and I think Whit Weeks is a day 2 player. I think LSU could have 2 linebackers go in the top 64. Definitely in the top 100. I think they both go in the top 100 players taken. That's what LSU has at linebacker this year. So if Perk makes it to round 5, I don't know. We'll put something on it. Yeah, no, I mean, the Saints better make a move before then. All right, what we got here?
The Yackle.
The Yackle. Wow. They made their own website.
They made their own. After they got spurned by
Sporkle.
Big trivia.
Big trivia.
Oh, too much. 2
NFL wide receivers to throw over 3 passing touchdowns. I know one of them easily. And it's Mohamed Sanu. Definitely. The best wide receiver quarterback you've ever witnessed with your own 2 eyes.
I wonder if it has to be current. Oh, and then the other one would be Antoine Randall. Or
send it. The good thing about this one is we get as many guesses as we want.
Boom.
The director of the Barbie movie?
I have no clue.
What was her name?
Barbie.
No, it was
Margot
like
Robbie.
It was like a foreign name. I don't remember it. 3 colors on the Italian flag. Come on now. Back to our roots, huh? Remember where you started, Lloyd.
Uh-huh. Is it what?
It's what? 4 actors to play main characters in Seinfeld. Okay, well, obviously, Seinfeld is one. What's her name? Julie Dreyfus? I don't know the other 2's actual birth names.
Oh, Kramer?
Yeah, I don't know his birth name.
God, I should. He got into a good bit of trouble.
Oh, look, Andrew Messina. Michael Richards.
That's him.
And Jason Alexander. There we go. 5 main characters of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. It would be Mickey, Minnie, I.E., yeah, Goofy, Donald, and then Pluto. No, not Pluto. So then it's Donald Duck, and I don't remember the female duck's name.
Darkwing Duck. Did he have a wife?
Yeah, there's a Donald Duck and a Daphne Duck or a Daisy. Daisy is what it is. Daisy
Duck.
There you go. Good shout out, Kimberly. And with Danny, you got 9 Spurs to score over 800 career playoff points. Obviously.
Oh, Danny Green.
Yeah, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. Oh, we didn't get Tony Parker yet because it went to Mansfield Park.
There we go.
Who else? David Robinson. Give me another. Bruce Bowen. Nope.
What about
Boris Diaw?
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
I would love it. I don't think he is, but I'm trying to think of some more older Spurs players.
Danny Green would have been my only other pool.
Yeah. Kawhi Leonard?
Oh, yeah. Definitely him.
Trying to think of more Spurs. We can come back to it. Jane Austen novels? No idea. I knew at some point you were going to do Matt Bonner. George Gervin, yes. Shout out. Brian Burgess, Andrew Messina. That's a good one. Iceman. Patty Mills.
That's a great one.
I wish it was on there. What was that? The 6 founding members of the European Union. I think Brian Burgess hit that for us. UK, France, Germany. Spain. Okay, Italy. Netherlands. I can't believe Spain's not one of them. He said EU. No. I don't know what else would be one. And then Hunter Hall says Godfather 1, 2, and 3.
No 3.
No 3. Oh, Great Britain. Nope.
5 studio albums released about Lemonade. Yeah. I saw it. What's the Cowboy one?
Cowboy Carter. I don't know any other Beyonce albums.
That's sad. I mean, she's an icon. Don't
She
get it
is,
wrong.
but I guess not really my music taste.
No, I wouldn't even know. I can't even. What's Single Lady?
Grease.
Oh.
No, that was Destiny's Child.
Beyonce.
GREECE. Nope. James Silas, says Randy Jones. Nope.
Good coach.
Yep. Pride and Prejudice is a Jane Austen. Bless you. It's a Jane Austen novel.
What's the one where the girl tries to swim across the lake and dies? Is that not The Awakening? Did she not write that?
I have no idea. You can try it. Oh, Beyonce is a self-titled album.
Oh, nice.
England.
Let's not think too hard about it.
Nope. Luxembourg. Luxemburg.
I know about Luxembourg.
I feel like the director of the Barbie movie's first name is Greta. Greta.
That.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
That's crazy. I can't believe I know. That's so embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, don't be embarrassed. You got it right.
Yeah, no, I guess. Renaissance, says Kimberly.
Yeah, Kimberly, this is your time to shine. I don't know anything. Oh, I don't.
I should have known Renaissance. I remember the Renaissance tour.
I don't know what Francis Ford Coppola did.
Written or directed.
I feel like he's in. I feel like he does like the car movies. Like, oh,
I'm really thinking about these Spurs. I can't get my mind off the Spurs players. LaMarcus Aldridge. No, he wasn't with the Spurs long enough.
Good guess. I was trying to think of like the.
I mean, like DeMar DeRozan played with them for a minute, but I just don't think he was.
I was just thinking about the time, how many times they went to the playoffs.
Yeah, no, a lot of times. I can't believe Bowen wasn't one. I felt confident in that one.
Because they always would add like these little pieces, veteran guys that.
Right.
So.
Sean Elliott.
They don't have to be.
SEAN.
Is it you? Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Robert Horry, Race Against My Health.
Please.
I forgot Horry was on the Spurs. Sense and Sensibility. Come on, Brian, talk to me. Apocalypse Now, Hunter Hall says. Here we go.
Oh, the Redux.
2 of them.
So he's doing war shit.
See, Randy Jones says Larry Kenon. Just help you. Nope. George Gervin's on there at the bottom. Iceman is at the bottom of the Spurs list. Okay, what else? I'm trying to see if there's anything I missed in the chat. Emma, E-M-M-A, is a Jane Austen novel. Shout out to Brian Burgess. Big Jane Austen fan.
Do I need to read more?
I don't read at all.
Well, yeah, we do.
Dangerously in Love is a Beyonce album, according to Kimberly. Yeah, there it is. I can't believe Robert Horry is not one of the Spurs. But I guess he didn't spend all of like that much time with the Outsiders, Kimberly says. Yeah, great movie. Avery Johnson from Andrew Messina. That is a good.
Yeah.
There it is.
The coach.
That's a good pull. I can't believe Hunter Hall didn't get that one. Didn't he coach Alabama for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Alabama men's basketball. I can't believe it's got to be UK or Wales. No H. Nope. Ireland.
We have 30 seconds.
Really? Wow.
I'm interested to see what Francis Ford Coppola did. I've heard his name before. But I just
Belgium. Yes, there we go.
That's a buzzer.
Shout out the Race Against My Health in the chat. We got 44 of 54. I wish we would have known more of these. I mean, we weren't going to get the albums or the novels.
No, this is a big chat helper.
This is a big chat helper. And then the 10 movies are tough. B-Day, so Sabrion just dropped that in there just now. Persuasion, Brian just put in there. Let's see, what are the movies?
I Am Sasha Fierce. How was that album?
I would not have gotten any. I haven't seen
either.
any of those movies that are left. So,
But that's a fun
we
one.
did pretty good for a first one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Kind of same style.
And it does help you out a good bit. Like it.
Oh yeah.
Takes the names quick. Shout out to the Yak. And then let's do the trivia. I like that trivia one.
Barstool.
Yeah, and 83 people are enjoying some trivia with us. I enjoy that. Welcome. We got it, Randy. It was Avery Johnson was the last one. But Artis Gilmore would be a good guess. But I feel like he spent more time in Chicago. Vinny Del Negro, great coach.
That's a strong.
Coached the Clippers.
And he also coached the Bulls.
He did. Yeah, he's not.
Great is not the word that's synonymous with Vinny Del Negro. They fucking.
He was
hated him.
he was really good as the coach in my team on NBA 2K. He had like a ruby coach card.
Yeah, he did.
And it was great. P-Dub, appreciate you on the Greta poll. I was not going to say the last name because there's a lot of Gretas, and I just couldn't think of which last name it was.
Greta Van Susteren.
And so I just knew it was something like that.
NFL.
We got MLB college basketball. What's Rob Moore led the NFL in receiving yards while playing for this NFC team in 1997. Chat, you're going to have to help us out here.
Oh, yeah, we can't just go willy-nilly.
1997, I was how old?
Where was
-5.
What year did Brett Favre go to the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Because I'm thinking it's either the Packers or the Broncos.
The Broncos are
99
AFC.
Oh, this is NF. Oh, for this AFC team.
NFC team. So it would be out of those two. It would be the Packers. I don't know the name Rob Moore. Let's skip it and come back to it. See if the chat can.
Remember Packers. I think that's what it does.
Okay. I will bank Packers in the back of my brain.
Oh, Johan Santana.
That's who it is?
I believe so.
Not Matt Harvey?
Oh, it could be.
Was it Batman?
Johan was might have been earlier than that.
Yeah, Matt Harvey's the one that comes to my mind.
Oh, forgot to put the keyboard on.
Sabrion says it was the Cardinals.
Okay.
There we go.
Because Johan was when I was in high school, so it'd have been like 08.
Earlier.
He was real good.
It was
You just said this.
Delaware.
Yeah.
I said it when we were in the car.
Yeah.
In Omaha. I remember
Geography.
it was her, Skylar Diggins, and Brittany Griner are all in the same year.
draft.
Yeah, the same draft. The Matterhorn is a mountain straddling the
Brian
main
Burgess.
watershed and border between Switzerland and this country. I feel like I'm like the Jeopardy host. The Matterhorn is a mountain straddling the main watershed and border between Switzerland and this country. What is
Where
Brian
is
Burgess?
BB?
Yeah, Harvey was 12 years ago, Hunter Hall. You're old. Sorry.
Hunter Hall was thinking the same thing. That's how it went.
Hunter Hall said, Noah's a big women's novel reader. Meanwhile, I get raked over the coals for Below Deck on Bravo.
Oh, Hunter Hall, I thought about you yesterday. I went to send you a DM on Twitter, but I don't think you have one. But I searched your name. But it was tough being a big Bravo guy, whatever. It's the Major League. It's the Home Run Derby tonight and the series premiere of Below Deck. And I was like, I only know one person
Only
that would struggle with that.
one person fits this mold, and it's Hunter Hall. All right, let's. Brian Burgess said Italy. Italy.
Italy. Yeah. Oh, you ready for? Let's go chain restaurants.
What, you wanted me to do the celeb mashup again?
Yeah.
Founded in 1981, sit-down Italian food chain.
That sounds awesome.
Free slabs of dough for kids. Oh, I remember this. Free slabs of dough for kids to play with. D'Angelo's. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong. There was definitely a D'Angelo's in Ascension Parish where you could sit down and play with dough while your family ate, but that might not be the sit-down restaurant this is thinking of. But I vividly remember as a child playing with pizza dough while my parents ate food.
I know
That's
one.
Ryan Seacrest and Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
This is an unbelievable skill that I have now.
Ned, you didn't even know you had.
I wonder if there's a game that's just celebrity matchups.
That's incredible. It's almost disturbing.
I'm not a fan that I'm good at it.
Yeah.
I don't like that I'm good at it. Let's see.
Supergirl?
Yeah, Supergirl. Movies. Let's see.
Oh.
Was it Morgan Freeman?
No.
It's just the only voiceover guy I can think of.
It might be Morgan Freeman. I think it's somebody off the wall.
I can't believe how fast I got the celebrity mashup again.
I mean, we'd be a fool not to put. It might be Tom Hanks.
Really?
I mean, I'm gonna do Morgan Freeman because if it's not,
I feel like that. I mean, that was just. We can wait on it if you want, and try the last one. What's the last one? Music.
Music make you lose control. Oh, we got
Alicia Keys.
Oh, that's what it was. She plays the piano.
Pete-Up said definitely Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, Noah's the new Fran. She's really good at it too.
Really?
Didn't miss one the entire tournament.
Wow. On the celebrity mashup?
Mm-hmm. That's like the only reason she's on the team.
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess that's a skill I have. So NFL, they said it was the Cardinals, which is an NFC team. So, chat.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Somebody has to know the sit-down Italian food chain. I vividly remember. I almost want to call my mom and ask about D'Angelo's right now because I sat down at D'Angelo's, but I guess it's not a big chain. I mean, it's not going to be Olive Garden. I don't remember Olive Garden from the.
I'm just trying to find a different way to put in D'Angelo's.
No, it's okay. D'Angelo's might just be not a national chain. Olive Garden is the only one that, like, to me, a sit-down Italian food chain sounds like Olive Garden. I can't really think of another sit-down chain for Italian food.
Carrabba's. But I don't think they offer dough. And then there's...
Let's try it. We still have our redo. So I would say we throw Olive Garden at it.
And then they went to breadsticks?
God, it's not right. Okay. So we'll double dip. So it's not Olive Garden. Brian Burgess says Bertucci's. Give it a go.
Let's
Got
go.
Let's go.
D'Angelo Vickers. Hell yeah.
Shout out. And then I guess now we'll do our athletic connection. This is fun. I want to do more celebrity mashups.
Yeah, I bet.
I feel like it. What a skill. What a talent. I have to tell my mom about that. We did the other day at that birthday shindig. One of the games we played was the little, like, the heads-up game, where it's kind of like charades, where you put the phone on your forehead, and you have to describe what it is to everybody. And somebody did celebrities, and I started, like, ripping off, like, movies they were in or shows they were in or what they did. And they're like, why do you know all these people? I was like, sorry I don't keep up with pop culture. I don't hate because I like to watch movies and TV shows.
What's the pop culture?
It was the game where you put the phone on your head.
Love that.
And somebody picked celebrities as the category. And so, like,
celebrities
would come up, and I'd start, like, ripping off movies and TV shows, and they'd be like, I was like, God, y'all are losers.
It does get to a point where it's a little embarrassing.
They're like, why do you know all these people? I'm like, I don't know.
Or, like, how you know, like, what you think of them to describe it. They're like, right. I have not seen that movie.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah, and it's like, I've seen that movie like 15 times.
Yeah, are you serious? I can rip off a monologue
I was
now.
about to say, I could do his whole character.
How long you been with? Somebody yelled that at him at a celebrity golf tournament. And he was like, what?
At him?
Yeah.
That's
he was
awesome.
like, what? And he didn't know what they were saying. And then they went, how long you been with her? And he said, It was awesome.
Oh, some soccer shit.
Ugh, disgusting. All right,
let's connect athletically.
Sixers, Wolves, Pels, Cavs. Look at the Pelicans. Shout out to the Pelicans.
Why are they in it? They can't be good company.
Okay. Just NBA teams.
Familiarly.
Let's see. And then we've got Chelsea. Yep. Brentford.
Or the Sky is women's basketball, right?
Yeah, and so is Lynx, but I don't know what else would be women's basketball. There we go.
These are like, they have to be all sort of the same name, right? Like Jim something, Cole something, Carson something.
Arnold something. Yeah, we can try it.
I don't think it's right, but I'm going to try it. Yeah.
Yep. Palmers. Yeah. Arnold Palmer, Carson Palmer, Jim Palmer, Cole Palmer. Lynx, Sky, Try, Jim.
So they moved the letter or something. Which Y is the only vowel.
Okay. Well, Y is not always a vowel, so.
And sometimes Y.
Sometimes Y.
All right. Pretty good.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, general knowledge is still there.
Yeah, we still got it. We can do celebrity mashups all day.
All day.
Don't
you go home and start looking for them.
I won't.
You don't need to.
I'm going to save content for this.
Yeah, this is a generational run we're on.
Save content for this. I have to go get a haircut, though. It's about time. I'm not going to take this hat off to show you what's underneath it because it's bad.
Oh, Johnny Carino's was the other one I was thinking of.
That
was a big chain in Alexandria. People got real excited.
Real excited.
They had big appetizer was breadsticks. But they put marinara sauce, cheese, and pepperonis on them.
Oh, wow.
I was like, so it's just pizza.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's breadsticks. It's cut differently.
It sounds awesome.
So you're just going to have pizza before your pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like tortilla chips. You're just eating tortillas before you eat more tortillas. But it's different, it's just
I mean, you've seen my approach at Mexican restaurants.
I have.
It's genius.
It is. No, I was about to say something. It's like Monjuni's does meatball nachos.